right now, first on Fox. You're watching the news at 9 on Fox 11, the ones for news.
Violence never wins. Freedom wins. And this is still the people's house.
Just a few hours after they were rushed out of the Capitol building during riotous break-ins, Congress is back in session.
Tonight, Tucson's police chief, Chris Magnus, is reacting to today's violent protests in Washington, D.C. Fox 11's Carly Tinsley sat down with the chief. She joins us live from TPD headquarters. And Carly, there were things he would have done differently.
Yeah, that's right. He called the actions of those storming the Capitol today unacceptable and appalling. But he also said there was more that the police could have done to stop it and also prepare for this, especially because this event was planned.
Democrats are celebrating a clean sweep of the Georgia Senate runoffs. What makes the Senate race historic in several ways next.
And President-elect Joe Biden has made his pick for Attorney General. What you need to know about Merrick Garland next. Still ahead on Fox 11 News, there is a growing alarm over the spread of a highly contagious variant of the coronavirus. What to look out for, still ahead.
And also how the Amphi School District hit a milestone by passing out more than 1 million meals to those in need.
Deltacom, more fires continue to burn here in Arizona. We'll have brand new information for you on several of them burning right now.
A small Arizona town on edge as the devastating Margo fire burns homes and forces hundreds to evacuate.
Crews are working tonight to fight the fast-moving flames. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Shaylee Sanders.
And I'm Dan Maries. This is happening in the small mining community of Dudleyville, right along the San Pedro River, about an hour north of Tucson. We have team coverage of the wildfire, the evacuations, and the crews battling the blaze. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen will take a look at how the weather is playing such a major factor in its spread.
But first, let's go to Hannah Tina, who has been on this location following developments for us today. Hannah, we just got the news the fire has now grown to 500 acres. How are things looking this evening?
An Amber Alert in Arizona. 4 children allegedly kidnapped. They range in age from 10 to 15. They are 10-year-old Matthew and Michael Davis, 13-year-old DeAndre Davis Jr., and 15-year-old Desire Watson. Officials say the suspect is 34-year-old Melanie Watson. She is a 5'4" African-American heavyset woman with brown eyes and black hair.
Jacqueline, thank you. Just into our newsroom, Tucson police are searching for a suspect accused of kidnapping and aggravated assault. This is who police are looking for, 36-year-old Michael Mudgia. Police say he's 6 foot tall, 185 pounds, and has a tattoo on the left side of his neck that reads greedy. If you have any information on where he could be, please call 88 Crime.
New details tonight as we are tracking a stabbing at a southern Arizona campground last night. Deputies with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office arrested 38-year-old Brian Benally for allegedly stabbing his 18-year-old co-worker while they were camping in Cochise Stronghold, which is in a section of the Coronado National Forest, about an hour and a half southeast of Tucson. Well, investigators were called to the campground around 3 a.m. Tuesday after the 18-year-old victim ran to a California couple for help. That couple took him in and helped care for him before paramedics arrived and airlifted him to a Tucson hospital.
Thank you, Aaron. Tonight, we have new details on a deadly shooting at a Southside smoke shop. Fox 11's Mary Coleman joins us now with more on the victim and the suspect.
And Tucson police have identified that victim in this homicide as 20-year-old Omar Hernandez Altamirano. Officers say when they arrived at the Southside smoke shop at 1:30 this morning, they found Altamirano inside a vehicle with gunshot trauma, and he died on scene.
Arizona makes history as the governor appoints the state's first female National Guard commander. Governor Doug Ducey named Brigadier General Carrie Muhlenbeck as the new head of the Arizona National Guard and the state's emergency management agency. She's previously worked as a deputy adjutant general and director of administrative services. Outside of the National Guard, she's also worked as a civilian prosecutor and a professor at Mesa Community College.
Just into our newsroom at the University of Arizona, it has launched a COVID-19 exposure notification app. It's called COVID Watch, and it's now available to download for U of A students, faculty, and staff. The big deal here is that it allows people who have been diagnosed with the coronavirus to be anonymous and to notify others who may have been exposed.
As the number of migrant children crossing the southwest border hits an all-time high, so are the number of families being dropped off in border cities across the state by U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents. As Fox 11's Carmen Valencia reports, many of those families are bused to Tucson and are now in Casa Elitas. She brings us the latest.
Today from Customs and Border Protection show the rise of migrants crossing in from Mexico is now reaching record levels. CBP reports there were more than 168,000 apprehensions along the southwest border last month. CBP also stopped 4,100 people they considered inadmissible. Those are people who arrived at ports of entry but were not allowed in for a variety of reasons.
Coming up on Fox 11 News at 9, they've been preparing and now it's happening. We'll take you to a local nonprofit dealing with a surge of asylum seekers that's overwhelming the immigration system.
And it's not the direction economists were hoping for. A look at the latest jobless claims just ahead.
After months of declining COVID cases, Pima County is now seeing an uptick. We'll tell you what's behind the increase in numbers.
I've been going there since 2000, and it's the craziest that I've ever seen it.
Authorities bust a huge illegal party right here in an Arizona forest. How word spread and the consequences some are facing.
The Amphi School District began serving grab-and-go meals at the start of the pandemic. Today, the district hit a huge milestone, passing out its 1 millionth meal. Every Wednesday, students can receive a bag with a week's worth of food in it. Any student in the community 18 years or old or younger is eligible for the meal program, and their family. They don't have to attend an Amphi school.
To hear multiple reports had Damon Stoudemire interviewing for Arizona's vacant head basketball coaching position today, with Miles Simon expected to interview tomorrow. So that's the update. And as for the former head coach, Sean Miller released a statement this afternoon thanking fans and the administration. He also sent a message to his former players.
The Wildcats took on the USC Trojans in a Pac-12 battle. Everything you need to know from that game coming up next.
Actually, what happened in that game was cold. But either way, a new defensive coordinator is coming to the U of A. Everything you also need to know about Dr. Blitz coming up next.